All right, hey traders, I'm just going to do this quick video for a subscriber of mine, Darius, I think it is. Anyway, guys, do not place trade based on what you see in this video. I'm just going to look at a few stocks that I'm going to be answering a question for a subscriber, and I'm going to be going through some stocks, what he wanted me to have a look at. If you guys have any questions or any stock or anything you want me to have a look at, leave them in the chat box below, and I'll be happy to do them. I want to start doing a lot more Q&A videos and helping you guys out when it comes to that. Anyway, let me bring up now this here. He says, "Hi John, I have a question. I have 4 companies that have recently have gaps in their chart, in their candlestick chart. Does the troughs and peaks take priority as to whether to take a trade or not?" Now, the first thing is that the peaks and troughs are not for you to take a trade. You shouldn't be taking a trade based on just peaks and troughs. Okay, now peaks and troughs are just a way of reading the charts. And what I mean by that is that when we're trying to read the market, we're trying to figure out, are buyers in control? Meaning, is the probability of me going long much greater as in the market stair-stepping up? Are the sellers in control? Meaning they keep lowering their prices, they keep knocking it down every time it rallies, a bit like Bitcoin right now. You know, or is no one in control? See, the most highest probability trades, right, are always trading with when someone is in control. If we want to go long, we want to make sure the buyers are in control. If we want to go short, we want to make sure the sellers are in control. And if we want to, and when there's no one in control of that stock, well, then it's very high probability. It's very risky, right? Because no one's really, there's no one clearly in control. Makes sense? So that's what I want to say there about the peaks and troughs. Now, one of the most important things is that you don't trade based on the peaks and troughs. You trade based on a simple pattern, okay? And it's not the pattern. Remember, it's not based on the peaks and troughs. It's based on a pattern that you trade. And if you took 20 trades, your 20 trades should look exactly the same on every single trade. Makes sense? Because remember, there's probabilities in the markets. There's no certainties. And the only way for you to get probabilities is if you take the exact same pattern, the exact same trade 20 times in a row. And then, therefore, over 20 trades, every single trade should look almost identical. If I showed you my last 20 trades, you'll see they look almost identical to each other. And so therefore I can see my win-loss ratio, and that's the only way you can start to move forward in a big way. Make sense? But anyway, what I'll do for you, Darius, is I'll have a look at those companies that you want me to look at on the Australian market here. So firstly, what you said here was SDA, right? So let's actually go have a look at this here. This one here is the SDA chart. I'm looking at the daily chart right now, and I can see there's a big massive gap through here. All right, so the first thing I can see is a big massive gap, and we're creating lower highs. It's a very, very, very messy stock through here. Let me see if I can, let me bring up, say, 1,000 units. By the way, guys, this is the stock that, this is the charting software that I use for my Forex futures and also Australian stock market as well too, right? So the one thing you want to be careful of too is you want to be careful of getting the stocks that are very messy, right? So you can see it goes messy, and then see this nice smooth price action, and then it goes messy again. Very volatile, very, very unpredictable. See when there's no one in control? Very, very, very predictable, unpredictable, and then the market drops down through there. Let's go have a look at that weekly chart here. All right, and then this weekly chart has had a really big long extension through here. And it does look like that it may be finding find a bit of support where we are right now, and then try to get a bit of a rally out of this. Again, I'm not telling you it's going to buy on there, but I'm just sharing with you what I see through here. It's all about the peaks and troughs, right? So what you're identifying is the market and what it's telling you right now. And you're looking at the weekly charts. What you want to do, Darius, you want to try to stick to stocks that are smooth flowing, and that don't have a lot of gaps in them and all that sort of stuff, because it's very, very unpredictable. You want to try to jump on trades that are smooth and all that sort of stuff, right? It's just about high probability. So that was SDA. Let's also go through and have a look at RCR. Let's see if I can see that on my list. Here we go, RCR. Again, this is the first time me looking at this particular stock. Here we go. a big gap down and then flattening out. The problem with a lot of the gaps, Darius, is, and the problem with the, say, things like this is that sometimes when they gap and they gap down, this thing could go for 6 months sideways action. You know what I mean? Especially when they get thumped like that, then they go sideways. You want to stay away from things like this. You want to try and stay away of picking the bottom through here. It could keep going down through here, but it can also, I've seen things like this happen for like 6 to 12 months where it just goes sideways. Nothing happens with it. If I go and look at my weekly chart here on this particular stock, yeah, look at that big gap down, right? So big gap down. And there's really nothing, there's really no one clearly in control, is there? It's very, let's go back to that daily chart here. And you can see there's really no clear lower high, is there? It's just really one big down move. Had this little up move here, and then the big down move. But you see how it's very ugly. You don't have smooth price action. You don't have smooth trend. And this, you want to make sure you're jumping on things that are smooth. This doesn't look smooth at all. And again, this big thump down, it's you know, and also understanding price and time as well too. Meaning we've done so much price here that we're now likely to catch up. And so that's what I'm seeing there right now on this RCR. Where's my thing go? Here we go. So that was RCR, BBN. Let's have a look at BBN on the Aussie market. Here we go. So again, the first time looking at this one here, had a bit of a sideways action, then a bit of a gap up, bam, gap up through there. Really not much to talk about on that one there. Let's have a look at that weekly chart. And oh, it's only been here for a short period of time, hasn't it? Yeah. So I get that there's really no clear trend here at all. Really no clear trend at all. I've got a big gap up and a sideways movement. Again, this big gap up here and then a sideways movement. You want to be careful of those things. So you want something that's smooth and flowing. Again, it's all about probability, okay? And also, let's go have a look at PGH. PGH. PGH on the Australian market. Here we go. All right, so again, this is the first time me looking at the chart. The one thing I do see here straight away is that we've basically been going down, slowly stepping down, but I would class this as one big down move with a big gap through here. So we're likely to find a bit of a bottom here soon, I would say. Let's actually squeeze this right up. Yeah, probably find a bit of bottom here soon and start to rally. Now, I wouldn't want to be buying this right now. Why? Because the trend has been down, right? And so, and as you can see, right, like what I look for is, oh, actually, I won't go into that, but as you can see, right, we had this sideways movement and then bam, big breakdown bar. That's sort of what I look for. What I look for. The reason why I sort of is because I'm not going to go into detail there, but we've had this big drop down through here, and you know, it's actually getting down towards ultra low levels. So again, I wouldn't want to be buying this because you never know where the bottom is when the market's going down, and the momentum and the trend has been strongly down. So for me personally, when it comes to high probability trades, there's nothing that's happening here on this weekly chart. And on this daily chart, we've had this big thump down here as well too. So there we go. There's a bit of an update on all those different stocks that I see. The biggest thing that I must say as a trader, if you want to trade the markets for income, that is, not investing but trading, the most important thing for you to do is to find one consistent pattern that forms on the chart. It might be a bull flag, it might be a bear flag, it might be a triangle breakout, or it might be whatever. All right. As I said before, like if I showed you like this bar right here and this sort of setup here where it goes sideways and then a breakout bar, that's pretty much 90% of what I look for. Now there's a lot of things that I look for within this here, and I do have other things I look for, but every single pattern, every single trade of mine looks almost identical to each other. Whether it's a 5-minute Forex chart or a daily or a weekly ASX chart. And that's the most important thing to you as a trader, is that you want to have, remember, you want to have consistency. And how do you get consistency? Is by taking the same pattern again and again and again and again and nothing else. And not just be as you can see, each of these stocks really are been going down a lot. So trying to buy these things right now, or trying to even short these things right now, it's risky. Now, why is that? Why? If I try to buy it right now, why is it risky? Well, this thing can keep going down, right? Because it's been going down for quite some time. No one knows where the bottom is. It's like trying to short the stock market for the last couple of years. We know it hasn't been a good strategy. Every now and then it gets you pull back, yeah. But why would it be a risky strategy to even go short right now? Well, it'd be a risky strategy to go short right now because the market's been going down for quite some time. That we're now getting ready for, I believe, a bit of a short-term bounce. But the question is, when does it bounce and how far does it bounce before the sellers start knocking it down again, because the overall trend is in place? And again, if you're getting in based on right now, and because you think it's going to be the bottom, so you're going to start buying it here. Do you see what I just said there? You think it's the bottom, or you think it's a good time to get into it. A successful long-term trader doesn't think about getting into the markets because he thinks the market's going to keep going down, or he thinks that the market's going to do this, or he hopes this happen. No, a successful trader actually has his plan, and he says, okay, here is my pattern, and here is my entry bar, and this is where I'm entering. There is no thinking about it. There is no hoping about it. It's just like, okay, then there's the setup, there's the entry bar. That's I'm taking it. Do you know what I mean? So and the reason why I say this, once again, trading in the markets is about probability. And the only way you can see the probability in any system is take that same setup 20 times in a row. So that means if you took 20 trades in a row and you sent me the screenshots of those trades, every single one of those screenshots must look almost identical to each other, to each trade, and then you can start to see, oh, I'm now getting 80% win-loss ratio, and you know, on average, the system's been running on for X amount of days if I'm trading the daily chart, and so on and so forth, right? That's how you get good at trading. Make sense? So I hope this helped you out. Make sure if you are interested in getting my coaching, I am opening up a few spots for 2019. And I'm going to be coaching you and weekly coaching and so on and so forth. So if you are interested in that, make sure the very first thing in the description, go sign up for the free trading course. And when I do launch my coaching program and my systems and strategies and so on and so forth, then you'll be the first to know. I only allow a small group of people in per year. I only have 15 people this year alone in my group, and I'm only allowing 5 to 10 people again next year. I'm shrinking down even more next year. So if you're interested in that, let me know, or fill in details below. But I hope this helps you out now to see some sort of a path to moving forward with these markets.